Hi, I'm Jim with buyinstllationproducts.com, and this is an instructional video on how to measure your pipe size, order pipe insulation on our website, and how to install fiberglass pipe insulation on this mock-up pipe. The one thing to always remember is to wear a dust mask when dealing with fiberglass pipe insulation. This is our mock-up of a 1-inch cast iron pipe. We're going to be insulating both sides here with fiberglass pipe covering from Owens, and then we're going to be using a PVC 90-degree fitting cover to insulate the fitting, so we have a complete system. Now, the first thing to remember is when insulating or dealing with insulation, we need to wear a dust mask. We have a professional insulator kit available on our store that gives you a protective suit, gloves that insulators would use, the N95 dust mask, which is the most important thing, and safety goggles. So that's available on our site. Now let's look at our 1-inch pipe here. This is going to be our demonstration. We're going to be doing everything right here, and when you order, there's a couple accessory items that we should look at. When you're ordering fiberglass pipe covering, you might need accessory items such as ASJ Max tape. This is a matching white poly-coated tape that matches the jacket of the fiberglass pipe covering we sell. It comes in a 25-foot roll, and it also comes in a 150-foot roll. So usually we use a 25-foot short roll on smaller projects where you have less cuts. The 150-foot roll gets you pretty much covered on larger projects. Next, we have PVC vinyl tape. This tape is a white tape. It comes in 3 different widths: 1-inch, 1.5 inch, and 2-inch on our site. We use this to seal the PVC fitting covers on cold systems. These are chilled systems and cold, where we need to maintain the vapor barrier. Now today we're going to be using PVC Tacks. These are insulation king tacks that are used as a closure because we don't have to worry about the vapor barrier on a hot system. These are the king tacks. They come in a small bottle. These are 500 tacks. They may be too much for your project, so we also, for convenience, we offer a 50 tack bag. Now remember, a PVC fitting cover, a 90 and a 45, will use 2 of these tacks. A T-valve will use 4. So if you just have 90s and 45s, this will do 25 fittings, which is more than enough for small projects. Another item is this Dexter 6-inch blade. It's sharp, but you can use any serrated sharp blade that's long enough to cut the pipe covering. We're using this 1376 HB, which is the insulator preferred knife. Now, if you're unsure of your pipe size, we recommend ordering a pipe caliper. This is the Insulation King's pipe caliper. It's a really handy tool to figure out your pipe size. Simply open the bag, take out the tool, and you will see when you open this up, there's 3 wings. Each wing has to touch the pipe. You close the pipe caliper and it will show you the iron pipe size or the copper pipe size. Now, determining what type of pipe you have is very important. This is a copper pipe. You can see it's copper in color. You have sweated on elbows that are flush with the pipe. Sometimes it will tell you the size on it, which is very helpful. Most other pipes, like this black iron pipe, PVC pipe, and everything else will be very similar and will use iron pipe size. So when you're on our site, you have to first determine if you have iron or copper. So that's the first step. Now you could take this Insulation King pipe caliper, simply put it on the pipe, make sure that all 3 wings are closed and touching the pipe. Now you can read on here, this is a 1-inch iron pipe. So now we know what size to order on our website. So that makes it very simple. Now, if you don't want to order a pipe caliper, or you're only doing this once, you just need to know the measurement of a couple pipes, we highly recommend not doing this. A lot of people will try to measure with the tape measure to figure out the diameter. Now this is not accurate at all, because you're going to see this is a curved surface. It's very hard to determine the diameter. And the difference between different fiberglass pipe covering sizes is within 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. So if you're off by a little bit, you're going to have the wrong size. It's going to be too big or too small. So we do not recommend measuring it this way. We do recommend measuring the circumference, which is around the pipe. This is a bigger dimension, and it's going to be, if you're off by a little bit, the pipe size is going to, we're still going to know which pipe size to use. So here we're using lap tape. You can use a rope, twine, anything that's flexible that you can go around. So here we're just going to go around, and we're going to use a pencil, and we're going to mark this here. Now, measure the length. And this is dead on. This is 4 1/8. 4 1/8 inch circumference will be a 1-inch iron pipe. All of those charts and instructional guides will be on our website at buyinstalationproductstore.com if you need further help. Now, we just received our order. One thing to know is that pipe covering is 3 foot long. So here, this is just a basic order of 5 pieces. That would be 15 feet. So first check the order, make sure it's complete. Now, with each piece of fiberglass pipe covering you get from Buy Installation Products, you will receive a complimentary butt strip. This is the matching ASJ Max tape that has an easy finger lift release paper. This ASJ tape will be used when you connect 2 pieces of pipe covering. Now, as you can see in this demonstration, when 2 pieces of pipe covering go together, the jacketing will leave a 1 to 1 1/4 inch gap of yellow fiberglass. This tape will be used to seal the system up nice and neat. As you can see, it's one complete system. This will create the vapor barrier and maintain it. Now, first thing to do is measure the pipe. 2 different ways of measuring are using a tape measure, and here you can see this is a 17-inch cut that we're going to have to make to insulate the first part. You're going to want to make the piece of pipe insulation touch both joints here. You do not want to make it too short. The fitting covers will not fit correctly. If you cut it too long, you're going to have to carve out to go over this hump. So we like to keep it right inside these 2 raised joints. If you're up on a ladder, or if you can't get to a tape measure, the old-fashioned way is take your knife, put the pipe covering on the one joint, and then simply make a notch to see where you have to cut the piece. So now we're going to go over here to the cutting board, and we're going to cut this piece of pipe covering. So now when you have a sharp knife like this 1376 HB from Dexter, you can cut through the entire piece of pipe covering. If you have a short blade, you're going to cut it like this around, and it's going to be an uneven cut. So when you cut, hold the lap down. This is ASJ Max paper, so it is a little tougher to cut because it's so durable. Okay, so now we have our first piece. As you can see, we lined up perfectly. Now, one thing to notice, if you are confused, I should have mentioned this before, with sizing, on each lap it will tell you this pipe size. So you can see this is 1 by 1. The first number is the pipe size. The second number is the thickness. So this is a 1-inch iron pipe with 1 inch of fiberglass all around on all different sides. So simply, it's hinged, so you can open up, close the fiberglass pipe covering over the pipe. So it's going to nestle in, fits perfectly. And you're going to turn it, so this lap, we can peel off the release paper here. When closing fiberglass pipe covering, you're going to want to close the lap in the middle first, pressing that first and spreading out both ways. This prevents any wrinkling. And one thing to remember is this is a pressure sensitive tape, so you need to rub it in. If you rub it in, it will last forever. It will not open. If you just press it closed, it could potentially pop off the pipe. Now the next thing we're going to do is measure this. This is here. Same thing. We're going to take our knife, make a notch. And we're going to do the same cut here. Okay. Same thing. We're going to open up the hinge, pop it in place, take the release paper off. Again, close it in the middle and rub out. And again, we're going to rub this nice and hard so it doesn't come open. Okay, now that we have both pieces of pipe covering here, we have the exposed fitting. We're going to use a PVC fitting cover to insulate this and complete our system. PVC fitting covers come with what's called the fiberglass blanket or fiberglass insert. These can come in brown or white, and these are used to insulate the fitting. Now, this is the incorrect way of doing it. You want the large part of the diamond to be the circumference so you can go around. Now, before that, let's show you what the PVC fitting cover looks like. This is a PVC 90 and it's a number 9. You can go on our website at buyinstalationproductstore.com to look at the PVC fitting chart and to see what size correlates to the pipe covering that you're ordering. As you can see, it's a thin plastic cover. It's one piece here. All it does is snap on, and we use PVC tacks to close it. So first, we're going to use the fiberglass blanket, push it in. You only need to cover that one piece of exposed pipe. So as you can see, you get a full wrap. So now you're maintaining that 1-inch fiberglass through the entire system. And we're going to take the PVC fitting cover, and it just simply snaps over. I like to put the PVC tacks in ahead of time, so if you're up on a ladder or if you have arthritis, it's a lot easier to close. Close it tight, press those tacks in, and we're good to go. Now, if this was a cold system, we would use the PVC vinyl tape around the system. Now, do not stretch the PVC vinyl tape. Simply do that. Cut it with the knife. And again, rub that in. And this will create the vapor barrier to prevent any humid air from going in here and creating condensation. So that is it for our buyinstalationproducts.com tutorial.